right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling something, well, pretty intense. We're breaking down a text that presents a stark warning about what it calls a downward spiral linked to pornography consumption. And it argues the consequences go way beyond what you might think. So let's unpack this perspective piece by piece. So right out of the gate, the source hits you with this. Porn makes you blind to opportunities. Whoa, that's a huge claim, right? And it really sets the stage for everything that follows. The whole idea here isn't about, old school morality. It's about something the author thinks is way more fundamental, your actual ability to see and grab onto the opportunities in your own life. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how on earth do they back up a claim like that? Well, it all starts with this idea of what the source calls the biological reward. Let's see what they mean by that. And this is really the key to the whole argument. This biological reward is basically a counterfeit. Think about it. It's like getting that rush of accomplishment, that dopamine hit, but without actually doing any of the hard work. The source claims this is what tricks your brain and, well, starts to chip away at your motivation to chase after real goals. So you've got this counterfeit reward system going on. What happens next? According to the source, this isn't just some abstract idea. It supposedly leads to very real, very noticeable changes, both in your mind and your body. First up, the source says you become slow. And it's described as this kind of creeping fog, a feeling that your mind and your body just aren't as sharp as they once were, like you're always playing catch up. And then, after slow, comes weak. We're not just talking about physical strength here. The source means a loss of that inner grit, that resilience you need to push through tough stuff. So, the big question is, why? Why would any of this happen? Well, according to the text, it all circles back to that first big idea, the counterfeit reward. Yeah, and this quote really nails the core of it. The argument is that your natural drive, that hunger to achieve things, it just gets dulled. Your brain's already gotten its treat, so why bother with the real chase? All right, and here's where the argument takes a really interesting turn. The source claims all these internal feelings, they don't just stay inside. They start to show on the outside, actually changing how you appear to other people. So check this out. The source draws a direct line between what you're feeling inside and what people are supposedly seeing on the outside. That feeling of being drained of drive, it turns into being unable to make eye contact. That deep disconnection from your purpose, well, that's what creates what the source calls a hollow shell. And the text is super clear about this. It's not being used as a metaphor. The argument is that this is a real, tangible shift in your presence that other people can literally see and sense. And all of this leads to what the source argues is the final, devastating cost. You become completely disconnected from your own purpose in life.
So let's put it all together. First, the text says you're blind to opportunities. Then, you're drained of the drive you'd need to go after them anyway. And the final piece? You're totally disconnected from your purpose. According to this view, those three things combine to leave you feeling completely adrift.
And this is the bottom of the spiral, as the source describes it. Your natural hunger, your drive to get up and do something, it's just gone. Drained all the way down to zero. You're left without that internal engine that powers you through life. Okay, so after laying out this pretty grim picture, what's the solution? You might expect some sort of gentle, step-by-step recovery plan, but nope. That's not what the source offers. It gives a single, non-negotiable command. The takeaway here is all about urgency. This isn't a friendly suggestion. It's framed as the one and only way to reclaim what's been lost. And there it is, the final, blunt command from this source. It's a stark call to action that leaves zero room for interpretation. It frames this whole thing as a fight for your own potential. A really provocative idea, for sure. And it kind of leaves you wondering, what do you think about this whole argument?